Hey friends, welcome to Away with Yin. I'm Andy and I'm so happy and I'm so thankful you decided to join me for this Vin to Yin yoga practice. So, Vin to Yin is a style of yoga, a hybrid style of yoga, meaning that the first half of our practice will be flow based, linking breath with movement, creating warmth in the body, connecting to strength and dynamic movements, while the later half of our practice will be yin. So, the exact opposite, all postures will be on the ground, allowing ourselves to become grounded, to cool off, to be more passive in our intention, and arguably the most favorite, becoming very melty in your tissues. So, a couple more things before we get started. This practice involves us facing different directions of the mat. So, I suggest that you have the long edge of your mat facing the screen so you can see me throughout practice. And you might gather a set of blocks along with a bolster. So, again, thanks for being here and let's get started. All right, my wonderful friends, let's begin practice today lying down on the mat. And already, as you arrive, there's a choice to be made if you want the legs extended long or if it feels more comfortable to keep a bend in the knees, and deciding how much space you'd like to take up with your arms. Of course, there is no right or wrong. We're just looking to become perhaps the most comfortable that you've been all day. So take some time to arrive, get the fidgets, the wiggles out, and find that still space where you can begin connecting to this moment and the way that your breath is showing up in this moment. Now that we're a bit more familiar with our breath, I encourage you to start to visualize, feel, or imagine your breath moving not just in your chest and your stomach, but can you feel it in and out of your side body? That means the right and left rib cage, waist, and maybe even the outer hip. And we're doing this since this is a focus in our practice today. Nice job. Let's start to move the body as a whole with our breath. So, as you inhale, reach your fingers overhead, point through your toes. With an exhale, the hands drape back down to our sides, but flex the toes towards your nose. Keep that going as you inhale, point fingers and toes away from one another. As you exhale, draw them closer together, warming up shoulders, upper back, legs, feet, and ankles. One more breath in. And this time on your exhale, can you hug just the right knee in towards your chest? Keeping the left leg long and active as you squeeze and hug the right leg in. Invitation to draw some circles with that right ankle a couple times one direction, and being certain to switch directions, finding balance through this joint. Now we'll release the focus in our ankle and instead knock this knee from side to side, starting to shift our awareness into our hip space, letting go of any cracks, pops, or just any tension. So we gently rock from side to side, even massaging the low back. With your next exhale breath, can that right knee cross over to the opposite side of the body, finding a spinal twist? Our bodies are still rather cold, so no cranking or forcing in this twist. Just breathe into your right pectoral and low back. If you haven't done so already, open both of your arms out to a T shape. Wiggle through your right fingers, and with the breath, can you reach that right hand out and over to lie on top of your left palm? From there, we start to shift the front side of our body onto the mat as we find our sphinx shape in our chest and our frog legs. So that means your right knee is still in line with your right outer hip, and we're balanced on the forearms. If there's too much tension in your low back, walk the elbows away. If you're looking for more, walk them closer towards you. Gently draw the shoulder blades together to open the front of the heart and breathe into your chest and your low back. With the next exhale breath, the right leg releases to meet the left, and we'll swap sides, bringing our left knee in line with our left hip, inside of that leg grounded against the floor, maintaining our sphinx chest, reaching the heart gently forward and warmly forward, feeling the compression being created in our low back. All right, now finding a funky transition back into spinal twist. Our right arm threads beneath the left, and we open that left arm back behind us. Our left knee doesn't move at all, but the backs of our shoulders are grounded against the floor. We're balanced on our right hip. Our left hip reaches towards the sky. Breathing into left pectoral, left low back. Spinal twist. One last breath in, and with your exhale, roll onto the sacrum, level with the floor, hugging left knee in and extending right leg long against the floor. Begin by knocking your held knee from side to side, checking in deeper with this left hip. Returning your knee to stillness and instead drawing circles with the ankle on this side. Release your circles, give that left knee a squeeze, and hug the right knee in to meet the left. Knee to chest, take a gentle rock side to side. Decide if this is where you'd like to stay or if you'd like to widen the knees towards the armpits or grab a hold of the ankle, the foot for a full expression of happy baby. Of course, you can keep rocking side to side, enjoy the stillness. Stay as you are for one last breath in, and with your exhale, release the feet down to the earth with your knees bent, your hands along your sides. Preparing for bridge pose, inhale at the bottom to exhale, lift your hips towards the sky. Keeping your upper body soft and only engaging the low body, drawing the knees towards one another and squeezing into your glutes. One more breath in. Exhale to release the hips back down to the earth. Stay grounded for a round of breath in and out. Inhaling to prepare and exhale to peel the hips back up towards the sky. Option this time to interlace the fingers beneath your back. Just keep pressing into your arms if you find this option. And to go even a little further, maybe you lift the toes towards the ceiling, balancing on your heels, and really pressing into the heels to notice more engagement through your legs and the base of your glutes. Good work. Breathe in, exhale, release the toes down, unclasp your arms, and release the hips back down to the earth. Really good job. Let's hug our knees in towards our heart once again, maybe peeling nose up to meet the knees. And you might rock up and down your spine a few times. We're just looking to make our way to seated with our right shin in front of the left in pretzel legs. However, you want to get there is perfect. All right, beginning to warm up the upper body even more. So, as you find your seats, inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale to fold forward over your pretzel legs. Keep breathing in to lengthen spine. Exhale to hinge from the hips. And the more you fold, the more sensation you might feel through the outer right hip. Maintaining length in the spine, the sensation like your heart is reaching towards mine. Breathing in and breathing out. Nice. With your next inhale breath, let's walk ourselves back upright. Hands can rest somewhere along your legs as we prepare for seated cat cow. Inhaling to open the heart, draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale to round through your spine, drawing the navel back. Keep this going. Move with your breath, just like we've already been practicing throughout the start of this practice. Taking your last breath in, your last breath out, meeting me in a neutral seat from there. Inhaling to lengthen the arms up to the sky. Exhale, twist over to the left. So your right hand is on your left knee. Inhale to lengthen spine. Exhale to twist. As you exhale, keep your hand on your knee, unravel your gaze forward. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Exhale, side bend. Really pull the left knee down as you reach through your right fingers. Nice. With an exhale breath, hands to knees, make an X before inhaling the arms up. Exhale, pull the elbows down, cactus pose. Inhale the arms back to the sky and release to the floor. Finding our next stretch as we bring our right ear over our right shoulder. Option to extend that left arm out to the side, rooting through your fingerprints to feel more through the side of the neck, all the way down the arm, doing our best to soften shoulders out of ears. Breathing in, and with the exhale, carry everything back to center. We'll repeat that on the opposite side. Left shin in front of the right. Inhale, find length through your spine, and exhale, hinge from the hips. Keep maintaining that long spine, folding forward to feel more in the outer left hip. So in this sequence, we're targeting the side body by the sides of the neck and the outer hips. Let's take one more breath as we are. And with an exhale, use your hands to walk yourself back upright. Head over heart, heart over pelvis. Inhale the arms to the sky. As you exhale, twist over to the left, grabbing hold of your knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. One last breath in, one last breath out, and now maintain the grip on your knee as you inhale up the left arm, up and over, reaching through the fingers as you pull the knee down towards the earth, emphasizing side body sensation through the rib cage and the waist. Nice. Now inhale back upright. Make an X with those hands to inhale the arms up. Exhale, pull the elbows down, shoulder blades together, opening the heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, release to the earth. Neck release, second side, left ear to left shoulder. Know that this is plenty. If you'd like, there's the option of extending right fingers out to the side, just to create more sensation throughout the side of the neck as well as the arm. You're doing wonderful work. Let's bring our hands back to our lap and tuck chin towards chest. You can stay as you are, or maybe you draw these semicircles with your neck as you just rock one ear over shoulder, back and forth, back and forth. Excellent. Let's release back to center, where we'll turn to face the short edge of the mat. And as you find this seat, can you sit over to the left side of your mat with your legs long, seated nice and tall through your spine? Moving into seated pigeon. That means flexing the left toes towards our knee as we stack the ankle just above the right knee. Hands come back behind us as we reach the heart forward. Spine is still tall. The right leg can stay, or you can start exploring bending the knee if it's small or if it's big. Some people prefer to send the hips closer to the foot instead of moving from the knee. So you explore. We're just looking for something through the outer left hip. And you have the option of keeping your legs still, or maybe you bump them a little bit side to side. From here, we'll explore a variation of side plank. That means our figure four topples over to the right so we can lengthen the right leg long against the floor. Option to find your forearm, or you can stay lifted on the palm. But regardless of what choice you make, press into both of your feet as well as your arm to lift your hips away from the floor. If this feels like too much, you can always find a different variation of side plank. But regardless, engage through your core, lengthen through the crown of your head, and really push the floor away from you. For one more breath in. As you exhale, left arm down to meet the right, think pyramid legs. We might need to kind of center ourselves on the mat, and that's okay. Just keep the front, well, both legs straight, not locking through either knee, but your back toes can be faced at a diagonal. Inhale to lengthen through your spine, think halfway lift, and as you exhale, fold over that front leg. This is a great place to use blocks beneath your hands and let the crown of head melt towards the floor as we feel into the back of our front leg. Nice job. Let's step that right foot back farther behind us on the ball mound of the toes, feet on two skis before we rise up for our high lunge. So we have a generous bend in our left knee. If it's more comfortable for your low back, you can always bend that back knee as well. Really lengthen your biceps in line with your ears. Breathe in. With an exhale breath, straighten your front leg and pull your elbows down to your sides for cactus pose. Nice job. Let's keep that going. Inhale to reach arms up and bend the knees. Exhale to lengthen the legs, pull the elbows down. Keep going. Next time your knee is bent, pause. Exhale, hands to heart. And we'll slide our right foot up to meet the left, moving into tree pose. You might also take your hands to your hips for a little bit more stability. Once you make it towards the top of the mat, you could kickstand the right heel just above the left ankle, or maybe the foot comes inside the shin. Arms can journey wherever you'd like. Just keep pressing your foot into your leg and press your leg back into your foot. Option to maybe find a side bend as you inhale the left arm up, to exhale, reach over to the right. This will really challenge your balance. Nice. Let's inhale back up to center. And now your right foot, can you cross it in front of the left? We make a little crisscross shape with our feet, kind of like we're going to find a curtsy. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale, bend the front knee as you fold over your legs. Now that we're folded over our legs, you might decide that you'd like to bring the feet closer together, and that's okay. Keep the front knee bent. Inhale, think halfway lift. As you exhale, walk your hands over to the right to feel more through your outer left hip. Nice job. Inhale back to center, but then keep walking your hands over towards the left to unravel your legs and your feet back to the short edge of the mat. Malasana or yogi squat, heels in, toes out as you sink the hips towards the floor, keeping your spine long. Using your hands to maybe encourage the knees apart, keep lengthening through your spine. Nice job. Breathe in. As you exhale, let your sit bones find the earth however they need to get there. Awesome. So we repeat that on the second side. And now you kind of know where you're headed. So shake off any heavy thoughts. You're all good. This is just for fun, for exploration. Can you shift your seat over to the right side of your mat this time with your legs long? Seated pigeon as we cross the right ankle above the left knee, really flexing the toes back. Hands behind you, lift through your heart. Decide that this is perfect, or maybe you explore bending that bottom knee. Just stopping at a point where you feel enough through the outer right hip. Of course, you can rock those legs from side to side gently if you wish. Getting ready for side plank as our figure four topples over to the left, lengthening your left leg long, finding the forearm or maybe staying up on your hands as you push into the floor to lift the hips away. I like to turn my fingers towards the left corner of the mat, keeping the spine long, the head alive and active, not dumping towards the floor. And of course, really pushing the floor away. Nice job. Take a breath in. As you exhale, release that right hand down. Find your pyramid pose on the second side. That means our left toes kind of turn to face at a diagonal as we lengthen the legs long. Inhaling halfway lift. To exhale, fold and bow, melting over our legs. Can you think about the left hip reaching forward to send the right hip back, finding more sensation through the back of our front leg? Nice. Now, high lunge as we step the left foot back, bending into your right knee. Find some courage to lift your body away from the floor. High lunge, feet on two skis. Just pause and breathe, squeezing into your left glute, shooting energy out through that left heel. Nice. Now inhale, reach your fingers towards the ceiling, lengthen arms alongside your ears. As you exhale, pull the elbows down, straighten that front leg. Inhale back to high lunge. Exhale to straighten and pull. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. High lunge, bend into the right knee, hands to heart or hands to hips as we think about tree pose, sending that left foot up to meet the top of the mat. The foot can come inside the shin or maybe the toes stay grounded against the floor. Think of finding length through the crown of your head and keep pushing your leg and your foot together. Maybe you grow your branches up, staying exactly as you are, or once you feel steady and balanced, maybe you challenge yourself by lowering the left arm. Keep reaching through your right fingers as you find a side bend over towards the left. Slow and steady with your breath. Nice. Let's inhale back to center. And we'll cross this left foot in front of the right for our crisscross curtsy legs. Inhale, the arms sweep up. As you exhale, fold over your legs and really bend into the left front knee. Your back leg stays straight, just don't lock the knee. Breathe into the back leg. As you inhale, once again, think halfway lift through your spine, flat back. As you exhale, walk your hands over towards the left, feeling more through the back leg. As you inhale, walk yourself back to center and keep going over to the opposite side, unraveling your legs, your feet, and setting up for Malasana once again. Toes out, heels in, drop the hips towards the earth, but keep lengthening your heart and your crown of head towards the sky. Now finding balance between both of your outer hips, not working just one side, but both at the same time. Nice, breathe in, exhale, release, find your seat. Sit over to the left side of your mat and maybe give your legs a little pat, a little TLC before we do all of that again with some variation. Take your left foot, cross it over your extended right leg. Really hug the left knee in as you journey into spinal twist. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. With an exhale breath, unravel and journey into seated pigeon, crossing the left ankle and maybe bending that right knee a bit further this time. Keep the heart light and proud. Breathe in. Exhale to topple that figure four off to the side, finding your side plank. Once again, lifting out of the shoulders, pressing into feet and hands. Stay as you are or breathe in. And as you exhale, reach your fingers over your head to press even more of your rib cage towards the sky. So lengthening the left side, shortening the right side body. Nice. As you exhale, release left hand to meet the right. Find your pyramid pose. Inhaling flat back. To exhale, soften and bow. Step the right foot back, high lunge. We reach our upper body away from the floor, breathing in. Exhale to settle in. Squeeze through your right glute. Now, option to find your tree pose once again. Maybe this time bringing your foot further up your leg inside the thigh. Or instead, maybe you now move into standing pigeon, crossing your right ankle just above your left knee, really flexing the toes back towards the right knee and starting to explore what it's like to send your weight towards your heel, bending at your knees and sinking into your hips. Hands can stay at prayer if you're in this option. Also, if you're in tree pose, just keep your spine long and keep breathing into your legs and into the bottom of your lungs. Finding a nice still spot to send your gaze, your drishti, your focus. Releasing right foot in front of the left for your crisscross legs. Inhale the arms up. As you exhale, gently fold over those X marks the spot legs. Bend into your front knee, lengthen the back foot. As you inhale, walk your hands over towards the right and notice you don't just feel something through the outer left hip, but also the left side body. Nice. Inhale, center. Keep going as you unravel back to the short side of your mat. Malasana pose. Shoulders down out of your ears. Breathe in. Breathe out. And release. Sit bones to the earth, legs long. Let's balance that out on the second side. Shifting your seat over to the right. As we find a spinal twist, taking our right foot over our extended left leg and twisting towards our bent knee, even giving that knee a little hug as we pull it in.
Inhale to lengthen spine. Exhale to twist. One more inhale. To exhale, unravel back to center. Finding our seated pigeon, crossing the right ankle, flexing the toes back to the right knee, bending into your bottom left knee, maybe going a little deeper this time, breathing in. Exhale to topple over to the left, moving into our side plank. Remember, you can always stay grounded down on the forearm, otherwise, you might stay on the hand. But inhale to lift away from the floor, pushing into your limbs, option to stay, or inhale, reach those right fingers overhead to really find more side body stretch as you reach the rib cage, the hip, even closer to your ceiling. Nice job. Inhale back to center. As you exhale, release that right arm down to the earth. Find your pyramid legs. Inhaling to a flat back. Exhale to fold and bow over your legs. Really nice job. We're starting to move into high lunge, stepping the left foot back. Inhale to rise up. Squeeze into your left glute, really bend into your right knee. Just breathe in, breathe out. Now finding balance as we send that left foot forward. Of course, tree pose is great. Maybe the foot journey is a little bit higher up the leg this time. Or you can find your standing pigeon by crossing the ankle yet again. Keep the toes flexed to protect the ankle and the knee joint. And as you feel ready, you can start to hinge at your hips, finding a seat through your hips and sending your weight into your standing heel. Not gripping through our toes, but really finding energy like we're lifting away from the floor and contracting our muscles to find engagement, contraction, and focus. Keep the breath moving in and out. Really nice work, my friends. Moving slowly as you rise back up enough to cross that left foot in front of the right for your crisscross legs. Once the feet are grounded, we inhale the arms up. To exhale, fold over our crisscross legs one last time. Keep bending into the front knee, lengthening your back leg. Inhale, find length, and as you exhale, fold deeper. Walking your hands over towards the left, feeling sensation through your right side body, right outer hip. Inhaling back to center and keep walking your hands over towards the right to unravel to the opposite short edge of your mat, moving into Malasana Yogi Squat, your last squat. Really lengthening through the spine and staying light through your heart. Excellent job. One more inhale breath. As you exhale, find your seat, the most comfortable seat you can manage. Great work, my friends. We have made it to yin. You might enjoy just being in your comfortable seat, bringing on the breath, or maybe your low back and your hips would appreciate some windshield wiper legs, just bending in the knees and knocking them from side to side. Before getting into our first yin posture, let's all set the intention to be mindful that we're not going too far too fast. Normally, when we practice yin, our tissues are cold, and right now our tissues are warm. So we really want to keep ourselves safe by not going into the furthest extent of the pose right off the bat. So for our first posture, we're taking frog, and you might join me in bringing a bolster against the earth, or maybe even elevating your bolster on a set of blocks. Our first option in frog is to keep the big toes together and the knees apart, feeling something through the pelvic floor tissues as well as your inner legs. But if you'd like to go a little deeper, think back to half frog that we found way at the beginning of practice, when our knee is in line with our hip and the inside of our leg is grounded against the floor with the ankle in line with the knee. So we're feeling something again through the pelvic floor muscles and tissues, as well as the inside of our legs. Just bring one cheek to the earth, to your cushion, and when it's time to switch sides, I'll let you know. We're finding balance in our bodies now by no longer using muscular contraction to hold the pose. Instead, we're opening our heart and our body to allowing the posture to hold us, adopting this intention or this mindset of surrendering to gravity, letting the tissues soften and almost fall away from our bones. If you haven't done so already, please enjoy a few rounds of intentional deep breath. We always want our breath to move with ease and little restraint in yin postures. So if you're finding that the breath is getting caught or stuck or it's hard to breathe, that means we've gone too far too fast. And bringing the opposite cheek to ground down, finding balance through both sides of our neck, and continuing that journey of surrender. You are safe and you are allowed to let go. A gentle moment of awareness as you notice the temperature of your body and how it's already changed, feeling cooler now than when you first entered your frog pose. It's always important that we come out of our yin shapes slowly and intentionally. I like to start by coming onto the forearms and just lengthening one leg back at a time. Really, there's no right or wrong way to come out of frog pose as long as you're moving slowly. And from your frog, a couple options you might like to press back into a child's pose with the knees together. Maybe a tabletop pose, lengthening one leg long behind you at a time. Or there's even the option of finding a gentle downward facing dog. The choice is completely your own. When you're ready to carry on, we will meet lying down on our backs, and you can keep your knees bent for this next shape. But before we make any adjustments, maybe just notice how nice it feels to let the spine and the tissues along your spine just melt into the floor. Moving into a variation of spinal twist, we'll move the feet to the edges of the mats and let your bent knees fall over towards the right. If there's any tension or pain in your left knee, you can always place a block or even your bolster beneath it. And we're starting to feel something kind of from this outer left hip. And it's this spiraling sensation as it originates in the outer hip and starts to move towards the inner left knee. So we're targeting the rotator tissues and muscles of our hips as well as our quad. The shoulders are grounded, sunken into the earth. The back of your head might start to feel heavy. If it feels like that left hip is lifted slightly off the floor, that is okay. When and if you'd like to journey deeper, you might inch your left foot a little further back behind you. With an inhale breath, let's take our knees back up towards center. And from there, let the legs lengthen long. Let the feet journey to the opposite corners of the mat. Your arms and your hands might reach towards the top corners of the mat. Notice how you feel. Next, we'll move into banana pose. So take your left foot and let it journey over to meet the right foot. Your upper body is going to do something similar as you take your right shoulder and try and shimmy it down closer to your right hip. So, as we shorten or close the distance along our right side, we're creating more length through the left side. Relax with your arms in a comfortable orientation up overhead. You might take your nose and nestle it in towards your right bicep. And as you enjoy a deep round of breath, feel that breath in and out of your left waist. Notice where the inhale breath is illuminating your body and how the exhale anchors you deeper. If you haven't done so already, you might be curious about crossing your ankles. As you do so, how does that change what you're feeling in your body? Is there anything to notice about the top of your left hip? Once you feel able, you can inch and wiggle yourself back to the center of the mat with nothing else to do other than just noticing how you feel from right to left side. Now moving softly and slowly as we find those two postures on the second side. So bending into your knees, bringing the feet to the edges of the mats and letting them fall over to the right side. Once again, if there's any discomfort through your right knee, please support it with a prop. Know that props do not have to stay for the entirety of the posture. They're there to help us ease in. Letting yourself surrender to gravity. Let gravity do the work for you as you remind yourself you are safe and you can let go. If you haven't done so already and would like to move deeper, you might inch your right foot further off the edge of the mat. Remember to move mindfully even throughout the transitions with an inhale breath, bringing your knees back to center before resting in a moment of pause. Noticing any hum, buzz, or ripple of sensation in and around your tissues. Beginning to find banana pose over on the second side when you're ready. Right foot journeys over to meet the left, and the left shoulder inches closer towards the left hip. You might snuggle your nose in towards your left bicep. And of course, feel your hips level with the floor and your arms relaxed up overhead. The arms might lie side by side. Maybe you clasp the fingers, the elbows, or anywhere in between. A gentle moment of awareness to once again notice how much you have cooled off and to also notice the quality of your breath, its texture, its depth, its pace. One last round of breath before releasing your banana and wiggling your way back to center. A moment of pause to just notice how you feel, maybe more balanced and more harmonious from side to side. We have made it to the end of our practice, my friends. Meeting the most important of our postures now, our Shavasana pose. So you get to make this final resting pose look and feel however you would like. If that's laying on your back with a prop beneath your knees, choosing to lay on your side, child's pose, or even being seated. But please don't cheat yourself of this very important posture, the place where all of that hard work, all of that work in balancing our energies and working into the side body, don't let all of that go to waste. Let it become integrated by your being on a physical, emotional, and spiritual level. Beginning to awaken now by just deepening our breath. From that deep breath, you might drag thumb across fingerprints, shake the head from side to side, wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, circle wrists and ankles, until eventually you might end practice with a full body stretch, reaching arms overhead, breathing in and breathing out. You might join me in rolling onto one side of the body before making your way into one last seat. Once you arrive, close your eyes, bring your hands to a comfortable place. Take a moment to just notice how you feel. This is where I thank you, my friends, for your time, your energy, and your trust. Let's end this practice with one unified breath. Breathing in, breathing out.
Once again, my friends, thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you liked this video, please consider leaving me a comment, letting me know why, maybe liking this video, or even subscribing to the channel. Regardless of all of those things, sincerely from my heart to yours, thank you, take care, and I can't wait to see you next time.